What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop into the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Hell yeah, let's get it going here, guys. And a Fan Friday, the families of Fridays here in My Cowboys Family. Got a couple of things to discuss. Rookie minicamp kicking off, some rookie spoke. Interesting information I want to talk about those guys in the front right there, the offensive line. And, of course, Micah, hungry, as always, looking at that schedule, ready to tear up some birds. Hey, we're going to talk about that and more. Also, the wife's, 2 cents on the schedule as well, baby.
That's right.
Before we can even keep it going here, though, much love to everybody in the house. Hitting that like, subscribe, notification bell, following us on the Twitter side of things, at My Cowboys Family. And here on the Fan Friday, we're going to also do the shout-outs. I'll do the shout-outs for our silver and star level members. But first, baby, let's talk about the people that keep the thing going, rolling here on the nightly on My Cowboys. For almost 6 years and beyond, it's the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King. It's the same guy. It's Mr. Stewart. Much love to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart. Appreciate you. And of course, up there right above, Mark Hovsepian is still bossing that stream around. He's got 83 points on that board.
Yes, Mark is on the overall board as well. Not at the top spot yet, but he is one of our top 2-3 guys up there. Much love to him. We also got our Cash App King, Jason Renfro. Got to shout him out. You know why? Because he's the leader right now on the Cash App side of things. Much love to Jason Renfro. And I think I said this the other night. He was in first place on the overall board trying to go for that sponsor of the week, but Skeptical Fan kind of passed him up by a little bit. And then we had Jason Renfro drop a $1 holler in the Cash App side. And a Go Cowboys from him. So, again, he keeps that lead in the Cash App. He's second place on the overall board. But the man staying skeptical dropped two $2 hollers in our videos from earlier this week. And those are called thanks drops. So, appreciate you. Thank you.
Skeptical.
To the man staying skeptical Fan, who retains the top spot currently on the overall board in the lead over Jason Renfro, Mark Hovsepian, and others. And he's coming for that sponsor of the week. Much love to Jason Renfro, the leader right now, trying to get Mr. Stewart's crown. And much love to Skeptical Fan in the lead on the overall board, trying to take that sponsor of the week from Mr. Stewart. So much love to everybody on that board. Mark Hovsepian, 83 points, and everybody else who's helped this channel throughout our downtimes, you can say. We still hoping you guys are still able to drop that love and that knowledge here on MCF, however you want to do it, to make it that experience here on My Cowboys Family. There's the membership side of things as well, which, let me stress, the Skeptical Fan has 14. You see it right there above. 14 gifted memberships. That's a new function, new feature here in My Cowboys Family. And we are celebrating those that are the winners of the month. We got a little special surprise for you guys. But Scorpio is on that board as well with 1 gifted membership. Much love to Skeptical Fan. Just the takeover is real here by the man staying skeptical. And he also is one of our 2 star level members. Got to give it up to not only Skeptical Fan running the show there on the star level. But you also got to give it up to Lincoln Kane, guys. Lincoln Kane, all the way from Australia, a part of the star level membership. But tonight we're not just shouting out those guys, the top shelf membership. We're shouting out that silver level too, guys. And without further ado, you got every Fan Friday, the silver level gets the shout outs. Jason Renfro, Marissa, JQ, as we know, the Q man, Justin Quarles, and A. Lavelle, the guy who's been in the silver level the longest of everyone on My Cowboys Family, 34 months in that level. Much love to Mr. A. Lavelle, Marissa, the Q man, Justin Quarles, and of course Jason Renfro, who usually lives at that star level. He's taking a little vacation in that silver level right now. Much love to all you guys on all those levels here on a Fan Friday. So, baby, as I continue this, why don't you let them know how they can help the channel out? If you don't want to go through Super Chat or memberships or anything like that, there's other ways to kind of help out the channel. So I'll let you handle that, my love.
Yes, of course. You have the Cash App, # My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, you have the Streamlabs link, which lets your comments show up right here on the screen like a Super Chat.
That's correct, guys. So check it out if you're interested in that. And I appreciate everybody who goes to the super chat and does the membership thing. Can't do this thing without you guys as long as we do. And we're going to do something a little different, baby. Outside of this, we got ourselves a new little, 1-2 punch here, myself and the wife. But tonight and going forward, on the nights that we're not like overloaded with stuff, if it's a lot of stuff going down, we're going to get through it all in whatever time it takes. But baby, we're going to try to do something a little different here. Let's try to keep it a little more, we want the Cowboys to be consistent. We're going to try to be a little more consistent. Try to be more consistent on our start times and try to be more consistent on our length of our shows. So baby, you want to go into that a little bit more?
Yeah. So like we said, guys, as we're kind of revamping, adjusting some MCF things here on our side. One of the things that we want to try to do moving forward is, as much as possible, you guys know how we can get sometimes, but as much as possible, we want to try to keep our streams to about an hour. And of course, with a few exceptions, right? If there's a lot of news one night, obviously we'll have to discuss a little more. Obviously, if you guys are interrupting us, dropping the love, things like that throughout, obviously that might extend the stream a little bit into past the hour. But like we said, we're aiming for about an hour for each of our streams. So fingers crossed as we kind of adjust to that. Obviously, we like we said, we can sit here and talk about our Cowboys 24/7, 365 if you let us.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also, it's just we usually will start the hour like when we do the shout outs and stuff, and it will, obviously we're going to try to keep it to that hour. But like you said, baby, if we got a lot of news, we got a lot of information we want to discuss, we got a lot of topics we want to talk about, it's going to be more than an hour. If it's a regular night, with the limited kind of news, we're going to try to keep it to that hour, not an hour and a half or 2 hours. Now, again, like you said, baby, if there's interruptions, and when we say interruptions, drops of donations and love, whatever, whether it's super chat or cash apps, of course, that's like you stop the timer in a way, right? So we do that. That's the one way of extending the shows a little bit more. If we go longer, that's probably the reason why. Or of course, there's a lot of news out there, right? So either way, we got to keep it a little more together on our live streams. We got things on our side we got to do, and we got to make sure that we give you guys the news, info, and updates as consolidated as possible. In my opinion, we'll see how this goes as we go forward here in the off-season time frame. So, of course, we get to the regular season, it's going to be crazier. So, baby, who's in the house tonight? So let's start that timer.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do some shout-outs here. We have David Lara in the house. What's up? Cactus G in the place to be. Frank Moyer, much love, and he said real quick, I have a question. How come we're playing the first Cowboy-Eagle game in Philly and not in Dallas like it should be?
No, so, actually, last year we played it in Philly first, right?
Yeah, I think so. But outside of that, remember, when we're talking as far as like division rivals, there's no like set, you have to have an away game or a home game first or otherwise.
Yeah, there's no order. There's no order like that.
Yeah, as long as you have one of each in the season, one home game, one away game against each one of your, division rivals, you're good. So you can have it all at once, back to back, spread it out throughout the season, however you want to break it up. That's up to the NFL, I suppose. But yeah, so that has no bearing at all on that. So now let me go ahead, keep rolling here with the shout outs. We have Mark Hosepian. Aloha. Mark, much love to you.
In the house.
Hello and hi. We have El Cool representing. Daniel Barry, what's up? Lord Nova, hello and hi. Texas Twister in the house. Let me see here. So let me go ahead and read one more comment, and then, we'll go ahead and dive right into the news, of course. I'll go ahead and set the timer, so to speak, on my side. But real quick, thank you so much. We got Bruce, got the Toxic Juice, hello and hi. So Cactus G said, I don't get all the negativity about the schedule. A lot of people are calling for the Cowboys' record to be worse than the past 2 years. If so, why in hell did we get rid of Kellen Moore? Just to be worse?
Well, again, the schedule is tougher. We talked about the strength of schedule yesterday. We talked about, the Cowboys are at the top 5 strength of schedule, playoff teams. We got, of course, those 6 primetime games plus that Thanksgiving game. We're all over the place. visually, we're playing some big matchups. It's because it's a tough schedule, but it's not about the Kellen. I don't think it's the fact that we didn't touch up the offense too much. We didn't really do much more than bring in a couple players, which is good, but maybe we didn't put in enough players on the offensive line. We're going to talk about that today. Did we address the tight end properly? I mean, I guess so with the draft pick. And then, the scheme. How is McCarthy's scheme going to work? These are unanswered questions, question marks. If that goes the right way and we are doing better with that, with those three areas, of course, on top of the Brandon Cooks and those guys we brought in, then I think that we will be a team that would be much scarier than maybe even some of the teams that are above us right now when you look at the power rankings and all that kind of stuff. So I just think, I think that don't worry too much about the negativity about the schedule. It's more about that it's a tough schedule because you got tough teams, but you can't judge that until you play the games, and we could be the toughest team out of all of them. We don't know yet, so it's all just predictions. I'm not getting. Yeah, I don't get frustrated by that.
The only thing I'll add to that is, it's actually a good thing that our schedule's tougher in one particular way. Remember, the last handful of years, NFC East has been a little bit lackluster when it comes to competition or talent. Now that ship has definitely been turned the other way, right? The Giants, as much as we want to crap on them, they have been much more successful the last handful of years than they were a few years previous to that. Even the Washington Commanders have done some pretty decent things defensively that keep them in the mix, right? And then the Eagles speaks for itself. So I won't really touch on that.
And again, we also
of competition.
We also play the AFC East, which is the other great division out there. That's what we play this year. They play us. That's why the top 8 teams with the hardest schedules are all 4 from the NFC East and all 4 from the AFC East, because we play each other. That's the easiest reason why people don't realize it. Why they're getting upset, because we knew these guys. These were going to be the guys we played this year. It was going to be a tougher schedule, but we're also a better team defensively, and we're a better team, I think, question mark wise, with McCarthy's situation, and we're going to handle the offensive line stuff. How's the tight end stuff going to work? But those are the question marks. If they anywhere on the positive side, we're going to be much better than last year. Mark my words. Now, before I get any farther, is that the questions in the chat? I know we got to get going, baby. We already took off 5 minutes off the clock.
I know. We have one more question to shout out here, or one more statement, I should say, because Brandon James Shea just dropped a $2 holler here. Thank you so much, Brandon. Much love to you. And he said, the Lakers go to win today. LeBron James is the MVP.
I'm not a big fan of LeBron James, but we know Jordan's the best of all time. That's the way I look at it. Brandon James Shea, appreciate the $2 holler and the update.
There it is. Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, it looks like they knocked out Curry and the Golden State Warriors. So, they go to the next round now. I'm not a big fan of the Lakers, though. I hope they lose. And I'm surprised about the Miami Heat, who knocked my Bulls out of the playoffs back in the advancement game to get that 8th seed. They are now in the, Eastern Conference Finals, which is the first time an 8th seed ever made it. That's incredible in my mind. That's crazy to see that happen. But hey, let's see what happens. Good luck to those teams. As long as the Lakers lose. Sorry, Brandon. I'm not a big fan of the Lakers or of LeBron James. All he does is go on good teams and try to win championships. Jordan made his teams win. Anyways, that's just me. That's me. We get into basketball another stream, right? I'm wasting time now, baby. Any other comments in the chat? Any other shout-outs before we get rolling?
Let's go ahead and get right to it.
All right, so
like you said, we have some rookies to talk about today.
Yeah, but first let's start with some veterans. In fact, a legend and a veteran, Dak Prescott and Emmitt Smith. As I said, he was on yesterday on the American Country Music Awards. Dak Prescott, again, it was held at I think it was held at Cowboy headquarters, the Star in Frisco, believe it or not. So this event, or at least where Dak was, again, he presented this in Frisco before. It was the first award of the night. So Dak Prescott and Emmitt Smith presented this award. I think it's some kind of Song of the Year in the Country Music Award. I'm not a big country fan, so it's great to see Emmitt and Dak at the, in the Dallas area there, right, doing this Country Music Awards thing. And just again, Jerry loves that. He loves being, his guys being all over there, just spreading.
Well, think of the schedule release video. Star. No, just saying, think of the schedule release video by the Cowboys. It was very cowboy, right? But not like Dallas Cowboys, like horse riding cowboy.
Yeah, like
so
Yellowstone.
This to me feels very much like horse riding cowboy. So still on brand, just the other side of that brand.
Yeah, Dak was wearing was wearing a white cowboy hat. And he was wearing a silk and linen outfit, and Emmitt Smith was wearing the black cowboy hat, the black linen there. But anyways, either way, Dak also today was at his Fight Finish Gala at the Thompson Hotel. So again, he's out there doing his thing, whether it's Country Music Awards or out there, doing some great stuff for his charity. No matter what, he's always working hard, Dak Prescott. You know what I'm saying? On the football field or off the football field, always doing his thing. So much love to Dak on that side. By the way, I see some other people in the house here like Cue Ball, Tom Cook. Appreciate you all. Let's go Cowboys. You know the deal. Now, let's talk about NFL news. And in fact, specifically NFC East news. We're going to have new ownership in Washington. It's official today, although it's not official. It's officially going to happen. It's not happened officially yet. The Commanders, the purchase and sale agreement has been reached 10 days before the next league meeting, which is happening in Minneapolis, where team owners will be, again, they'll convene and they will able to vote on the approval of the sale. Now, is 10 days enough? The Washington Commanders and, they had a partnership. They have a partnership now led by Josh Harris and, of course, Magic Johnson, part of the other people who have bids in this. Bids with him. They're under the same Josh Harris umbrella. They've entered into a purchase and a sale agreement, and it was jointly announced today. The statement from Commanders co-owners Tanya Snyder and Dan Snyder said, quote, "We are very pleased to have reached an agreement for the sale of the Washington Commanders franchise with Josh Harris, an area native, and his impressive group of partners, of course, including Magic Johnson. We look forward to the prompt completion of this transaction and to rooting for Josh and the team in the coming years." So that today marks the end of Daniel Snyder owning the Washington Commanders, verbally, a verbal agreement, basically. Everybody knows
the end of an era.
The end of that era, which was, I kind of wish it continued for Washington because it was a fantastically horrible era for the Washington Commanders, and that's a good thing for the Cowboys. The Commanders and Josh Harris now, again, reaching this deal is a big step toward a transaction completion, right, of this sale. But it is still not the final step. And I'm just going to say this because a lot of people jumping the gun. The league staff plus the financial committee have to review all the details of this proposed transaction. And then after that, guys, after that part's complete, the full membership of owners need a vote. 24 out of the 32 votes are necessary for the sale approval. That's going to happen. It's more about, just getting everything, the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Once they get that done, that gets voted on. And then once it's approved, that review of the transaction detail is a lot to complete in these 10 days before the owners convene, for the next league meeting. That's why it's going to be probably not happening as fast as people think, unless they do get it caught up in these 10 days and get everything done. This league staff finance committee situation reviewing the details of this transaction. If they get it done in 10 days, they can vote on it and get it approved pretty soon. But if they don't, it's not a good chance it's going to be up by vote this next, in the next 10 days. It'll probably have to, after they get this thing processed through, then a vote will have to take place in the coming months per league sources. So it looks like if it doesn't happen in 10 days, it's going to take 2 or 3 months to complete this deal with the Washington Commanders. But no matter what, Snyder's out, and now they got new ownership in the house there. Any thoughts about that, maybe before I go on, moving on here to another thing?
There we go. Sorry, I want to make sure I unmuted myself. Like I said, realistically speaking, just the end of an era. We kind of jokingly mentioned this in the chat. It sucks to see Washington and the Giants kind of getting their shit together. That's also the end of an era. But hey, iron sharpens iron, and I look forward to hopefully a slightly better run Washington division, which hopefully only means good things for us here in Dallas.
Hey, listen, all I remember is that maybe they're going to bring back the rivalry finally, because they killed that part off. They kind of became, non-rivals the last 20 years. Again,
because no one gave a crap over there. Not the ownership, not the front office, not the players eventually, right? Like the few players that did care, want to go out there and kill themselves, they eventually said why. So anyway, Washington had lots of problems.
Listen.
Like I said, it is just slightly sad to see them getting a little more with it and with the times.
Yeah, well, let's see better battles, and like you said, iron sharpens iron. See what happens. Now, Tom Brady, legend Tom Brady, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Deep discussions right now to become a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Magic Johnson going to become a limited partner there. Brady may become a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. according to ESPN's Seth Wickersham. But the thing is this, guys, this is possibly, potentially, I guess you could say, his second foray into a partnership with Mark Davis in less than 2 months. So he's really, moving his football life forward, and he's even thinking about maybe dropping out of that big contract he has to do, for Fox Sports. So we'll see how that goes. But Brady's, figuring out what he's doing out there. Now back to current football players, Minnesota Vikings. Today they announced that they are trading. I said about this guy they're going to trade now, not Dalvin Cook, but Zadarius Smith. I'm not a big fan of him when he was at Green Bay, but the Vikings are trading him, 3-time Pro Bowl pass rusher, to the Cleveland Browns. So the Vikings today traded Zadarius Smith to the Browns. Again, he has a reworked contract which guarantees him $11.7 million this year, and then he'll be a free agent in March. So this is all negotiated by Eric Burkhart, which is under the Jay-Z-run Rock Nation Sports agency there. Now, what does Minnesota get back for him? They get a pair of 5th-round picks, 5th round 2024 and 5th round 2025 in this deal. And again, in addition to that, to getting Zadarius Smith, the Browns also get back a 2025 6th round pick and a 2025 7th rounder. So basically, they got an extra 6th rounder and an extra 7th rounder to give up 2 5th rounders in 2024 and 2025. That's what they did, and they also got the player for 1 year. Remember, for 1 year, $11.7 million on the books, and then he's a free agent. So that's a 1-year deal for this guy with the Browns is what it comes down to for Zadarius Smith, $11.75 million. And it basically, the Browns go down a couple rounds in draft picks, and that's what happened. That's it. That's what they swapped that. So again, it seems like a pretty reasonable deal when you look at contract situation. The Browns are getting a damn good pass rusher added into their already damn good pass rushing core there, Myles Garrett and others. So good move by them, I think.
Again, these types of moves, as great as our offseason has been, as much as I might like our draft and stuff like that, these are the types of moves that do have me wish the Cowboys went window shopping just a little bit more. But hey, according to Steven, we already are behind the scenes. So
2 words, due diligence. That's all we talk, due diligence. So now we're going to talk about this schedule, baby. And,
Let's do it.
I spoke about this entire schedule yesterday in full detail, and I'm not going to, waste time with my thoughts on this. I want you to give your thoughts. I will say one thing. At the end of this, I want to know what your record prediction is. I said yesterday I went between 11 and 13. I ended up with 12. And I'll give my explanations maybe after you give yours, but I want to know your thoughts on all these games here with the Giants, Jets, Cardinals, Patriots, and on and on and on here. And I'll give you some facts about this, about some over-under for the season for us when it comes to winning and losing, and also, the odds to win the NFC East, that kind of stuff. So, baby, take it away.
So, how exactly do you want me to just kind of give my thoughts?
Just a quick synopsis, and I say synopsis like a sentence on each of these games. Give me if you think the Cowboys will win or lose, and if it's a close game, that's fair as well. You can say it's a close game or a blowout. What do you think? Go ahead, baby. You hit it up.
So yeah, no, okay. Let's go ahead and start right at the beginning. Super easy week 1, like I said in our video as well. No real surprises. Nothing really new happening there, facing up against the Giants week 1. I, do think it's interesting that we're finally on the road for one of these games as well. Right? That's also another change.
I mean, as far as the Giants, I think we played them on the road. It's been a while since we played them on the road to open the season, but I do know that the last...
That's what I said.
We haven't played them...
It's definitely been a bit.
Yesterday I mentioned that we haven't played the Giants since 2019 to open up a season. That was when we were there, baby. Last time we played the Giants, but that was in Dallas. We also have Dak's rookie year, and that was Dak's that opening game. We were in Dallas. We lost. So I'm just saying, when you look at Dak's history with the Giants, we only lost those first two games when we had Dak. And I think 7 out of the last 12 years we opened against the Giants. But the last 4 years, it's only happened once. This is the second time. So, anyways, I'll let you take it away.
The NFL definitely knew what it was doing when it made these schedules. Because for us to kick off the season against the Giants and then follow that up with a week 2 game against the Jets.
New York.
That is intentional. And yes, looking forward to Aaron Rodgers, getting that monkey off our back. I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing McCarthy's offense.
He's 4-0, by the way, in AT&T Stadium.
Don't remind me. Again, not much to say about the Cardinals. They're in a very bizarre spot. So
in Arizona, probably more Cowboy fans. True.
That's another good point. After that, of course, week 4 against the Patriots.
Belichick.
Again, similar points as far as Arizona, but for very different reasons, right? Week 5, that's probably one of the games of the season.
Revenge.
Realistically speaking, yes, it is the ultimate revenge game against the 49ers. And then, of course, speaking of revenge, that Chargers game, like I said, it's more the timing of how some of these games fell too. Like I said, starting off the season week 1 against New York, not a big deal. But when you follow that up with, Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, now it's a much bigger deal.
And look at the first 6 games, 4 on the road. And 3 out of those 4, since the Cardinals, 49ers, and the Chargers are all, 3 out of 4 in a row there, and they're all West Coast.
So, again, that's what happens. You go to San Francisco, you go to the Chargers, next thing you know, you're all West Coast, right?
At the bye week, my question is, what do you think our record is at this point?
I mean, realistically speaking, 5-1 at worst.
At worst, huh? I said 4. I said 4-2 at worst, but okay. 5-1.
Look, I guess so. I guess that's probably more realistic. But honestly, I have very high expectations for this team. And instead of bringing myself down to more reasonable ones, I'm waiting for them to reach up to my unreasonable expectations instead.
All right, go ahead. Continue, baby. Hit the
anyway,
after
so
the
like
bye
I said, continuing that West Coast trend, right? You see the LA Rams there.
Yeah, but they come to Dallas.
Yeah, at least we get to smack them down at home. But this is all I'm saying. Lots of West Coast flavors. And then our first game against the filthy Philadelphia Eagles. It is an afternoon game there, week 9. So, I mean, honestly, not much to say about that one or the Giants game other than one's a home game, one's an away game. We know what's going to happen there. So, again, Panthers, not really much to say. They're also in a very extreme kind of trying to fix themselves situations. So, so they're just saying their own problems are big enough without adding ours to the mix. Again, Washington, the only exciting thing about that game is it is Thanksgiving week 12.
4-day turnaround.
So that's, one of our tougher game stretches as well. Besides that, of course, you have the Seahawks. And then this is where you have the Eagles game at home. So, let me see. Oh, by the way, that Seahawks game was a Thursday night game. I forgot to mention that.
I know. I kind of want to know what your thoughts are because I know. Look, I think our toughest stretch when it comes to,
I don't have too many thoughts as far as like our division rivals outside of that final Philly game, just because again, that to me is going to be one of those like linchpins of the season.
Well, the reason I'm saying,
depending on how everything is going, that game could easily determine who wins the division.
Agreed, but the thing I wanted to say is that the tough streak is more about the tough stretch of games, more because we're playing the Panthers in a 4-day break and then the Washington Commanders and then a week. So, but most teams are getting that kind of schedule. I think we're actually fine after looking at it. I think we're fine as far as that stretch. You know what the toughest stretches are? Week 3 through 6 and the weeks that we're going to talk about right now, which is the finish of the season. I mean, weeks 15 through 18, at least 15 through 17. So what do you think about the last 4? Again, what do you think our record is at this point before week 15? Because you got the Rams, then you got at Eagles.
Home so let's say if we were 4-2 earlier, let's say let's add maybe, let me see, one more loss.
So 10-3
for now.
I'm with you. I think 10. I think the next group of games. I mean, the Eagle game is probably the only one we take an L. If we take an L.
Let me see here. So I mean, again, that Bills game is going to be very exciting. Definitely looking forward to that matchup once again, especially because if I'm not mistaken, is this the first time that we're going to have both Diggs brothers facing off against each other?
I think so. And obviously not counting the Pro Bowl, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count. So, but yeah, I'm just saying that's going to be really exciting, really fun. I imagine a lot of shit talking there. We're ringing in Christmas a day early because the Cowboys will hopefully beat the Dolphins there for that Christmas Eve.
A lot of people saying it's going to be a tough one too, and then we get the Saturday night game against the Lions in Dallas, which again they're one of the top teams talked about now in the NFC, the Lions.
That's kind of funny to me, just because, again, right now, just because of their recent headlines in the news, when you tell me
too much gambling,
anything about the Lions, all I can think of is their weird gambling situation. Yeah, so I'll get over it eventually. And then, of course, last but not least, Washington, whatever's, in the NFL is just like, Saturday.
So what's
Sunday,
your final? What do you think we do those last 4 games? I mean, you think we win 2-3 of those games?
I mean, to me, we're winning at least 3.
To me, that Buffalo one is the one that sticks out to me as an L.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we're on the same wavelength there. So
and you can't overlook Miami or the Lions, but the Buffalo is a tough one there. So you're looking at this. I'm hearing you giving us a 12-4 record, 13-4 record is what you're saying.
So yeah, I mean, which. I don't mind that at all. I'm pretty sure I said 12-5.
Yeah, that was at my best.
The stream before we even went live. So
that was at my best would be 13-4. I think at the worst it'll be 11-5. That's why I said 11-6. I think 12-5 is my pick on that. But I also think that if we hit a 10-win or 9-win season, someone broke the goddamn leg. Someone's injured. That's the only way we go that bad. That's the only way we get. If we get that bad and no one broke their freaking leg, no Dak or Micah injury. We need to fucking fire everyone. I'm just saying. Everyone needs to go. If we go 9 wins or some crap like that. But 10 wins, someone broke their leg. Some major piece is hurting. Now, 11 wins is at the very least of what I expect from this team. And 12 wins is the realistic expectation to me. 13 wins, like you're saying, again, could definitely be realistic. But I think that's us at the top of our game this year. 13, maybe, 14 wins if we're really at the top of our game. And that means... first round bye, baby. That's a home game in the playoffs and a bye week. So I mean,
which again, those are the types of little things that could make all the difference in the end.
100%. So again, you're gonna stick with a 13-4 record. I'm gonna go with a 12-5. I mean, unless you want to.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were.
No, I'm asking you. You're gonna settle with the 13-4 or go 12-5?
Again, I feel like 12-5 is the more realistic and safe choice.
All right,
so I think I'm going to stick with my original assessment of 12-5.
I was going to say, make them go to that 13th win.
Oh, so cracking me up here real quick. Let me go ahead and look at the chat super quick. Everybody here, take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Let me see here. So Beast Mode said 10-7 and a wild card post.
That would be disappointing for MCF.
Oh, I can't help but agree with that.
Unless someone got seriously injured and we kind of balanced it and fought back and now we're healthy in the playoffs, that's a different story. But outside of that, if we're all healthy, our main guys, that's a failure. That's not a very good season, in my opinion.
So let me keep rolling here. Ricardo Lewis, what's up? Hello. We have Aztec. Bruce got the toxic juice. I see Cactus G in the place to be. Clay Cup, what's up? Hello and hi. Let me see here. So, by the way, Beast Mode said first 8 games are rough, especially since the Cowboys don't play starters in the preseason. Yes, guys, I have very, very patiently kept myself from, doing like let me rephrase that. I've tried very hard to not just only play that game, right? We had work, spent time with the family, did some other stuff, whatever, but I will definitely be playing that as much as possible for the foreseeable future, hopefully. So, Anyway,
yes, we know.
But yeah, I did want to take a second here before we keep rolling as well to shout out the sponsor of the week, Mr. Stewart. Forgot to shout him out earlier, so I want to make sure I give him his props.
I shouted him out for you. We got Mr. Stewart. He's the sponsor of the week and the Cash App King.
Ooh. So thank you, Stewart. Appreciate you. Much love. And yeah, that's it, baby.
Cool. Let's keep it going then. Because when you gave your numbers there, you gave it a 12 or 13 win season. I'm more on the very least 11 to 12 win season. Cowboys over under this year, according to DK Sportsbook. The over for 9.5. Like if we are 9.5 wins or more, that currently, we are, I guess you could say, not favored for that. If we're under 9.5 wins, that is a better odds. If we're under 9.5 wins, that's kind of the expected outcome. So I don't know. I think they're maybe thinking that the Cowboys might have an injury, or maybe not just as good because of the offense is still not proven. But whatever it is,
I was gonna say, yeah, it seems like most of the reason for that is maybe some of the question marks. I'm going to just throw this out there. I'm assuming the lack of early O-line weapons as well could play into this. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about that here. It's funny you bring that up. So let me get to it before we lose our time. I don't know where we are on the timer, but I know we're getting closer and closer to that tick, tick, tock.
See. We are... Let me see. No, we still have about 20 minutes.
Well, we better get going, baby. Now,
all right.
As of May 12th, I wanted to say no division has a closer margin of odds to win between the four teams. The favorite and the next team in the NFC East is the number one division. It's the closest division when it comes to the odds. And I'll say it in a minute, but first, baby, tell me what Jason Renfro said with that dollar holler.
Oh, thank you, Jason. Much love with a classic. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Much love, Jason. Appreciate you. And Mark goes to 80 points on that stream, boss. Trickling down. So, the odds with this schedule, and the other schedules all included, guys, the odds to win the NFC East, as of today, Eagles 105 to 1 odds, the Cowboys 175 to 1 odds, the Giants 550 to 1 odds, and the Washington Commanders 950 to 1 odds. I'm just saying, not very much separates these teams from each other. The closest of all divisions of separation between teams. So again, the Cowboys are basically 70 points back, and that's a drop in the bucket when it comes to winning the division. So it's definitely a close race between the Cowboys and Eagles, is what they're saying, and it's close with the Giants not too far back, and Washington about double back on the Giants. So that's kind of the way it goes. But let's talk about what you kind of made a mention as we get past the the draft, the standings and the rec and the schedule and all that stuff. I want to talk about the offensive linemen, and you see them on our cover there, on our thumbnail. So here's the thing, baby. I was curious to what you think on this, and the chat too. If they drop, they drop any comments, let me know. But we were ranked last year. We know this specifically when you look at the pass block win rate. We talk about this a lot. We were ranked 28th. We were down as far as 31 towards the last couple of weeks. We got back up to 28th in total offensive line pass block win rate. That means, are we able to block long enough over the 2-second point and not get beaten so that they're not putting pressure on the quarterback in that 2.5 seconds? We were not very good at that. And even with the great players we have on that offensive line, we had a down year at pass blocking, according to the pass block win rate analytic. Now, a lot of people want to play games sometimes and say, well, use this analytic instead of that one because it proves my point. We're going to use both of them, and you guys decide. Because, again, first and foremost, that's the reason why a lot of the Cowboy fans, and it's a obviously good damn reason for this, that pass blocking and getting an offensive lineman was a big miss by the Cowboys in this draft. Yeah, you got Awesome Richards, but we wanted someone a little bit more ready to go and start, right? And so that's why a lot of people wanted an upgrade at that left guard or better depth. The Cowboys ranked 28th in pass block win percentage. We won 53% of our pass blocking reps last year. That is 28th in the NFL, guys. But when you look at kind of other analytics there, all right, let's look at the run block. The same analytic for the run blocking. We won 73% of the time when we were run blocking. That put us 7th. So 7th, we stuck the blocks. We ran great. This is a fact. Pass blocking, not so good, not so consistent. About half the time we held our blocks for that 2.5 second. The film backs all of this up. Film.
I mean, if anything, that just lets you know, like, this is how good we are right now with all that going on. So the sky's the limit for us.
But the players are the same. So that's what I'm trying to say. So,
but even it's not like every player has hit their ceiling, though.
I agree. Some guys might be injured, coming off injury. We don't know how they're going to do, like Terrence Steele, right? So I agree. Some guys are still building up, like Biadasz and Tyler Smith, but we have questions at left guard. Zach Martin is at his peak right now, but he's up there, right? And I'm just saying, like, there's still some, Tyron Smith, we know his issues. So I'm just saying there's a lot of still question marks here we got to worry about this with this offensive line, that even with these 5 guys, whoever starts, there's a hole here if any one of them falter or go down. So my point is this. When you look at the pass blocking versus run blocking, we obviously were much better at run blocking last year. Film backs it up. Great at run blocking. We were inconsistent at pass blocking. Pass protection, if you're looking to be a West Coast offense, you can get away with the quick throws, but if you have to hold the ball too long, that's where you need that pass protection, which is more important in those situations. You're going to throw a lot more than run blocking. So that's why a lot of people, kind of categorize a premier offensive lineman for the Cowboys to go after. Now, breaking it down per position, per guy in our offensive line, among players at their position, at tackle, guard, and center, who played at least a minimum of 200 pass blocking snaps last year. You look at our 5 offensive linemen that started last year when it comes to true pass set efficiency. Another analytic that shows we weren't that bad. Terrence Steele, again, guys, this is out of 64 players. Remember, there's 2 tackles, 2 guards at these positions. So out of 64 players, Terrence Steele ranked 29th. Tyler Smith ranked 34th. All right? At true pass blocking or pass set, when you know it's a passing play, and their efficiency at blocking. So Steele and Tyler Smith were basically middle of the pack. Zach Martin, pass protection in this stat, true pass set, 5th best out of 64. Connor McGovern, out of 64, 34th, middle of the pack. And Tyler Biadasz, out of 32, because there's only one center per team, he was 15th, middle of the pack. Everybody middle of the pack outside of Zach Martin, who was obviously superior. The point is, a lot of people believe that, the pass blocking win rate situation, when you look at these numbers and the pass blocking side of things, not the individual stuff, but we were ranked 28th. All right, we ranked 11th when it came to pass blocking efficiency with these numbers I just gave you, which is basically what it is pressure allowed on a per snap basis, weighting towards sacks allowed. So they include sacks. Now Dak got away with a lot of sacks because of Dak. So I don't know if I buy this stats being better. But if it backs your narrative, people choose this stat to say, oh, well, look, this is a better stat because it includes sacks. And our guys, even though they give a lot of pressure, they didn't give up a lot of sacks. Well, that's Dak Prescott more than it was the offensive lineman. Dak got out of those sacks. Now, when you look at, you can look at the other way and say, well, look, this proves the run block and pass block win percentage. You see the Cowboys, we sucked at pass. Well, we were better, a little better than that number, because obviously we were more middle of the pack than 28th. So you guys understand it? I look at this and I look at it logically on both sides, and I say, let's break it down realistically. Cowboys are middle of the pack offensive line as a whole. That's where we're at. When you put all the analytics and all the statistics together, that's me telling you the truth. And I do believe the Cowboys should have done something to at least add depth or upgrade on that offensive line. I don't think we did that in the draft. Now, if we get Dalton Reisner, is that his name, Dalton? If we get that guy, then I feel satisfied at the left guard spot. And with the whole depth stuff and all that good stuff. So, again, every player in the Cowboy offensive line last year was at least average or above in terms of allowing pressure on the quarterback that led to sacks. And I agree, that shows you we're not 28th. But it also don't mean we're 7th or 11th like we were in run blocking.
No, but it also does show we know where our bread is buttered.
And that's the run game? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm sorry?
Where's our bread buttered? You let me know.
I mean, offensively, like trying to.
I mean, all right. I don't know if, all right. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, I feel like we're on two different pages here, so don't worry about it. Forget what I said. Go ahead and keep going.
Yeah, I was talking about the offensive line. I don't know. Okay, I'm just saying that on offensive line, we know our bread is buttered. If you talk about, I don't know what you talk. I know where you were going with it, baby. I'm just being real. You go confusing me here, but it's more about the fact that when we come to pass blocking, the Cowboys have to get better. We're not as good as some people will say we are, but we're not as horrible as some others say we are. We're literally, in my opinion, middle of the pack. That's what I was talking about. I don't know about the bread being buttered, baby. You got to give me more details on that maybe after the stream. But that was that's where we were focusing on the offensive line on this topic.
Nope.
You disagree?
No, I don't have anything I have to say.
I'm just trying to keep you on your toes, baby. I know it's late. So as we continue, we're going to be talking about these rookies. Rookie mini camp was today kicking off, guys, and that to me, obviously, great. Great to see the Cowboy players getting their. They tried their helmets on, they got their pads on earlier this week. Today, first actual day at the Cowboy Star as a Dallas Cowboy player on the field. Now, what do they actually do? This is more like an orientation. So let's keep that in mind. It's not like they're out there doing pass routes and doing one-on-ones. And we're not doing any of that shit, guys. None of that stuff was going on today. Now, as the week goes on, as this weekend goes on, you might see a little bit more stuff on the field. But right now, Cowboys are just getting on the same page, probably taking a walk around the Star, taking a look at the history, almost like your own guided tour. It almost feels like they're all doing this together. That's the way the Cowboys do on day one. And you're not going to see much about today out on that field. But I like to bring up this situation about some of the pre-draft training and the insight that goes into, three guys specifically in our rookie class here, and that's Mozzie Smith, Demarion Overshown, and Eric Scott Jr. Why do I bring these guys up, guys? Going to rookie mini camp today, okay, not the first time that they all trained together. It's an important fact here. 3 Cowboy rookies, these 3 guys, were among the 44 NFL prospects who trained at the Combine this year at the Exos facility in Phoenix, Arizona. A test there, I'll tell you what they measured in a minute because we got the man Mark Hosepian back in the house with that 5 on it. A $5 hollow. What did Mark have to say, baby?
Thank you, Mark. And he said, "We are an okay line blocking. Jerry Jones got no O-line help. The new O-line coach is nothing special. He jumps all over, which is not good. And Jerry Jones will just say, oh, well, we got a tight end."
Tight end to help the blocking. Listen, and Mark, that first sentence, 1,000% agree. I just gave you proof. I just gave you guys proof that the Cowboys, yes, 28th in pass block win ratio. We're not that bad, but we're also not 11th in efficiency. Let's be real. So we are 15th, 16th, 17th. We're middle average when you look at all 5 of our guys as of this moment. And
and kind of going back to one of the earlier points you made, like I said, I can understand why from the outside perspective as well, as even just, some people within the Cowboy fandom, we're not sure exactly where we would put their record, or you see them, giving the Cowboys a record that maybe you're like, man, I don't think we're going to lose that much, right? Like I said then, I have a feeling a lot of that does have to do with our lack of addressing the O-line in a satisfactory manner, right? Because we've had these other questions and things like that before, but I can see why teams maybe aren't as eager to jump on that, right? So, by the way, thank you again, Mark. Appreciate you. Mahalo to you. One of the things that hopefully will continue to improve, as the season goes on, though, is the blocking, and stopping the run specifically.
Yeah, I mean, stop. And by the way, much love to Mark. He's right behind Jason Renfro currently on that board in 3rd place. And Brandon James Shea earlier with his drop breaks out of that tie over Tommy Soltis and jumps into 4th place. I wanted to make sure I said that. Mark back up to 85 points on the Stream Boss. And yeah, Soliari, he's older. He was there with Tom Landry. Now he's back in Dallas, and he has jumped around over to a lot of different places. According to Zach Martin, he's more of a glass-eating, tough-minded kind of guy who wants you to impose your will on the other team, on the defensive line. And we haven't had a guy like that on the offensive line as far as a coach in a while like that. It sounds like that's per Zach Martin. So I'm gonna I'm gonna trust Zach Martin that this guy at least brings that to the table. We'll have to see how everything else fits in this offense and the scheme and McCarthy. So I agree, though. We got to keep an eye on that. I'm not putting all this trust in Soliari, but we'll have to wait and see what his plan is going forward and hope that Mike McCarthy, and it meshes with McCarthy, what McCarthy's trying to do. Zach Martin loves it as of right now, and that means I love it as of now. So great, much love to Mark, by the way, who's still, again, over 10 weeks in a row of that stream boss, and he's at 85 points, almost fully loaded. So, as I was saying this, I'm kind of, we talked about the offensive line, but we're talking about the rookies now. We'll get the rookie mini camp. But, baby, did you know that, again, we talked about some of these guys training in Phoenix, Arizona. And we heard about the Eric Scott situation where he trained there. He ran a 4.4, and then he got hurt and kind of pulled a quad when he was at the combine and ran a 4.7 or something like that. So
yeah, and the kind of hit that
a big hit, right?
His draft stock.
But the Cowboys love his measurables. But where he was training, where he had that 4.4, was at this Exos facility in Phoenix, Arizona, where you had Mozzie Smith, Demarion Overshown, and Eric Scott were all there working out. Now, this is an important thing, and nobody really knows this. Listen to this. This is important. These three guys were chosen with 44 total rookies, NFL prospects, okay, before they were picked. And they were doing tests. You know what they were doing tests for? Measuring lower body explosiveness. 44 guys, rookies. Top rookie names, most of them. Now, as part of the training, these rookies performed squats at a lighter and then heavier weight on a Kaiser power squat machine. Their movements were translated into a score representing lower body explosiveness. I guess when they shoot up, how much do they explode when they're standing up, right? Going up. At 533 pounds. At that level, no one earned a higher output than linebacker Demarion Overshown. Our third round pick. So Overshown was the number one guy rated here when it comes to lower body explosiveness. But I don't stop there because Mozzie Smith, nose tackle Mozzie Smith, our first round pick, he finished second at 520 pounds. 520 pounds, it's the second most lower body explosive player in this group of guys. So the top guy was Demarion Overshown. The second guy was Mozzie Smith. And then you go to Eric Scott Jr. He was the only third guy in the mix. You're jumping around, baby. You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear background noise. That's why. But cornerback.
Yes. Here, let me go ahead and mute myself though. But
cornerback. I hear you. I know you got to fix it. Cornerback Eric Scott Jr., who was our 6th round pick. We traded up for him. He was 4th out of the 44 guys at 505 pounds. Of doing that. That workout, again, now measuring their lower body explosiveness, number 1 was Overshown. Number 2 was Mozzie Smith. And number 4 was Eric Scott Jr. Out of the top 4 guys on this experiment, Cowboys drafted 3 of these guys. Jason Renfro dropped 2 of those hollers right there through the super chat. What did the man say, baby?
There we go. He said MCW is echoing, so let's go Cowboys now and forever.
Yeah, she might have echoed once because I had the audio still out on my side.
Yeah. So, but other than that, we should be good to go. Thank you, Jason. Much love with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that puts Mark at 83 points. By the way, and sometimes maybe you are having some reverb on your side, so I'll let you know when that happens. But all
right, I'll try to be a little better about muting it on my side. So
perfect. All right. So again, I don't know if you heard what I said. I kind of said it a couple times, but I wanted to kind of get your quick thought. But we got 3 out of 4 guys that we drafted are in the top. Again, top 4 guys. 3 of these guys are Cowboys that have the most lower body explosiveness. So the Cowboys are looking for a trait that's very specific here. If they're following this, whether they follow these numbers or not, and it sounds like they did, they want that lower body explosiveness. And all 3 guys are defensive players. Linebacker Overshown, defensive nose tackle Mozzie Smith, and cornerback Eric Scott Jr. Thoughts?
Okay, good. There we go. Again, obviously, there is a specific type of guy we like to have in Dallas. And, I think it just really goes to show how good our front office is at finding the types of guys that fit their metrics. You know what I mean? Off the top, like on a surface level, you would not have maybe known or assumed that. But like you said, once you look at things a little bit deeper, a little bit closer, you're like, oh, wow, all these guys, have all these similar traits. So I'm honestly not really sure exactly what that means as far as like how does that what does that mean when it comes to like actual footballing outside of just like very dynamic and athletic players maybe speed.
Overshown at linebacker is gonna when he hits you, number one, he's gonna hit you and it's gonna be more of a hit or a rattling hit. He's gonna pop your helmet off kind of hit. Makes you get that snot bubble out of your nose, which is what Lawrence Taylor said. Well, he loves seeing snot bubbles come out the quarterback's nose. So Overshown can give you that impact. When he hits you, he's gonna impact you even that much more. Oh, and a gifted membership from the man staying skeptical. Another one. And who got this one? It's Clark Kent. Clark motherfucking Kent is now a member in that navy blue crew. Baby, you take it away. Shout out. I'm going to update the board. Skeptical stays in the lead, and he gifts another one. Let me move that 14 to 15.
That's right. Huge shout out. Thank you, Skeptical fan. Much love to you and Clark motherfucking Kent. Hope you enjoy the membership. Go ahead, guys. If you do have them, drop them if you got them. So... by the way, yes, a huge shout out here. Thank you, Skeptical fan, for coming through. And Kelly, we did already touch on the schedule, but long story short, obviously some tough matchups, but that's a good thing, right? Because we don't want easy teams. We want to beat the tough teams so that we can prove our worth in blood, right? That record will be earned and fought for the right way as we hopefully get on the path to number 6, right?
That's you see my shirt. You see my shirt. You see my shirt. I want 6. We all want 6 and beyond.
So, and yes, thank you, Skeptical fan. By the way, I think he said, did he get my thank you? So I don't know if you would need to check to see if there's a thanks or something.
Skeptical. I shouted you out at the beginning of this. I got 2 thanks from you, $2 hollers. I don't know if you dropped another one. You may have, and I'll definitely shout that out if you did. But I have $2 hollers from the earlier videos that we had up there. So again, much love and big thanks to you, sir. Appreciate you. Now, again, anybody's thoughts on this in the chat, by the way?
In the house, what's up? Long time no see.
LT?
LT.
Oh, look at that.
He said, see y'all November 5th. Sincerely yours, your 2023 NFC East and NFC. No, I'm not going to say the rest of that.
We don't talk like that about the Eagle.
Much love, yes. Again, can't wait to, remind you of your place in the pecking order. But it's okay. We'll get to that November 5th, like you said.
Yeah, I was just going to finish answering. Yes, we will see you 2 times this year, Mr. LT, and we will be hopefully getting our 6th, and you're still holding that 1. Either way, I wanted to finish that. That was a good comment, a good thought from you, baby, about, again, I think Overshown's more the impact of the hits with him, with the lower explosiveness that he has. Again, number 1 in the NFL, number 1 as far as these rookies, these guys, these 44 guys were checked on. But it also is a way of him to be able to maybe play on, getting off of blocks a little bit easier, holding your blocks, even if he's smaller at linebacker. He has that lower body explosiveness that maybe helps control or get out of any kind of bigger guy blocking him. Same thing goes for Mozzie Smith. I think that's the big thing with Mozzie Smith. He has that lower body explosiveness so good that he's going to knock people backwards. He's going to knock people sideways, but they're not going to be knocking him backwards is the key. We don't want him going backwards. But Mozzie Smith, second best out of all these rookies with that lower body explosiveness, Overshown first best. I mean, again, we got some real run support type guys here that are going to give us some hard hitting and be able to push the line back into the offense. And then I will say at the cornerback spot, when it comes to Eric Smith, I'm sorry, Eric Scott Jr., you're getting that reverb again, baby. I don't know why. But when you got the Eric Scott Jr., he was 4th on this list. As a cornerback, that would help you take on, blocks as well. But I think it's also going to be good to, let's say, maybe he's a physical guy, so he's going to be able to he's going to be good at knocking receivers off that press coverage, man coverage. You got to knock him out of his route. That initial burst, that explosiveness when he hits you, a receiver coming out of his route. That's where you see I think the explosiveness that's big on those sides. So again, you got a corner, a linebacker, and a defensive tackle, but they all have high levels. Top 4 guys we got 3 out of the top 4 guys. And again, no other Cowboys on this list. Out of the 44 guys, the 3 guys we drafted are 1, 2, and 4 on this list. So I'm looking to see how that's going to translate in games for all 3 levels of defense with all 3 of these rookies on the defensive side. So I don't know if I answered that properly, but that's my thought.
There we go. Sorry, it takes me an extra little second there to unmute myself. So, and again, let me go ahead and hit up a comment here because House Nelson said lower body explosiveness sounds like Achilles, MCL, hamstring injuries are on the way. I'm not explosive enough to hurt myself.
No, that means that these guys can handle it better than the other guys. That means that they have the power and the ability to really explode into the opposition. I love that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep it rolling, guys. But before we do, let me remind everybody here to take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
I know we don't have much time. We're getting to that hour like we said we would, right? So right now, I'm going to go through rookie minicamp and the quotes, and we're done for the night, guys. But you got the quotes, my love. So right now, let me just start off first things first. The Cowboys signed all 8 rookies. Yesterday, we discussed that in great detail, that we signed the entire all 8 guys in that first round. I'm sorry, in this draft, in the actual draft. And actually, let me put it up there if I can. Here it is. And you'll see all these guys: Mozzie Smith, Luke Schoonmaker, Demarion Overshone, Viliami Fehoko, Awesome Richards, Eric Scott Jr., Deuce Vaughn, and Jalen Brooks. All these 8 guys were signed yesterday. Today, the Cowboys signed all 13 undrafted rookies. All 13 undrafted free agents, the undrafted guys. Wide receiver Jose Barbon. Offensive lineman TJ Bass. Tackle Earl Bostic. Defensive back Miles Brooks. Wide receiver David Durden. Tight end Princeton Fant. Defensive edge from Liberty, Darrell Johnson. Defensive edge Isaiah Land. Running back Hunter Lupke. I'll talk about him another day, but he's a guy to watch on the running back side of things. Defensive back, D'Angelo Mandel. Wide receiver, Jalen Moreno Cropper. Wide receiver, John Stevens. And linebacker, Tyrus Wheat. All 13 guys officially signed, undrafted. That means they get the minimum there, $20,000 or whatever it is, and we'll see if they can make the practice squad or maybe sneak into 53. We'll have to wait and see. I also wanted to add, and out of these 8 guys and plus the 13 undrafted guys, the Cowboys also had 2 players at rookie minicamp this weekend that were there on a tryout basis. All right? And again, they're here for the whole weekend. Quarterback Matthew McKay, which we talked about, all right, from Elon University there in North Carolina. I think Greensboro, North Carolina. And then offensive tackle Brendan Bordner, offensive tackle from Florida Atlantic. Also, Bordner attended the Colts rookie minicamp last weekend. So he went to the Colts camp, tried out there. Now he's at the Cowboy camp as a tryout for us, as well as Matthew McKay as the quarterback, another quarterback in the mix here, along with these 13 guys and 8 drafted guys. And I'm sure there's a couple guys in their futures deals that didn't play last year that will also be on this list of players. So, rookie minicamp, more of a, today I would say it's more of a, what you call orientation type thing. So not much stuff on the field. But when you talk about Mozzie Smith, he got a big deal. He got his signed contract yesterday. We got some details on that, baby. Before I even get to the details, did you know David Cantor? I'm pretty sure he's DeMarcus Lawrence's agent. NFL agent David Cantor.
Yeah, that name definitely sounds familiar.
I'm pretty sure he's DeMarcus Lawrence's agent. He's in trouble, guys. NFL agent David Cantor is under NFLPA investigation for alleged attempts to entice teams to draft his clients during this 2023 NFL draft. Cantor is alleged to have offered several teams the use of vacation homes if they picked his players. That's crazy. That's crossing a line, David Cantor. And I don't know, DeMarcus Lawrence might have to jump ship there. Who knows? Either way, that's kind of dirty right there. But again, he's under investigation by the NFL Players Association. Now, In the meantime, the Cowboys paid Mazi Smith, and he's got some big contract numbers for a first-round rookie, which, again, it's normal. But it is not, for a 26th pick, it's the normal numbers that we're supposed to see from him. 4-year deal, $13.274 million total deal, which is an extremely great deal for us. It is fully guaranteed. He gets a $6.654 million bonus part of that contract, and the base salary in 2023 rookie year $750,000. That's the hit. That's the base salary. 2024 $1.353 million. 2025 $1.956 million. And 2026 $2.56 million. Those are his base numbers. You got to prorate all the bonus stuff in there. It's a little more on the cap. The point here is, in that 2025 year, he might get, if he does great in his rookie year and second year, if he makes the Pro Bowl, something like this, he will get a bump on the 2025, 2026 years of his rookie contract. And again, remember, he has that 5th year in 2027. Still, that option can be exercised with the Cowboys, and we can do that after he plays his third year, like we did with CeeDee Lamb this year. After his third year, it was last year, we just gave him that 5th-year option as a placeholder, try to get a long-term deal for him in the book. So same thing with Mazi Smith, and that'll be Micah Parsons' option next year. We'll probably give him the 5th year, and we better sign him to a long-term contract. Oh, Micah Parsons. Now, baby, Mazi Smith. I'm going to stay with Mazi, our first-round pick. What did he say today? After, again, I got to reiterate this. The Cowboys, all the rookies, the 8 guys, the 13 undrafted, there's a couple guys, I think it was 15 total guys of the 15 to 23 guys at this thing at the very least. I'm sure there were more, probably in the 30s. But these guys here were all at this rookie minicamp. And I know after this minicamp, a lot of these rookies sat down with the media and had some interesting things to say. I know you have about 3 of these guys. So let's start with Mazi Smith first. Let me know what he said, baby, today when he was asked about, things coming quickly at him since being drafted.
Of course. So, guys, we are getting to the end of tonight's stream. So as I start reading some of these quotes, don't forget to take your final second here to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, of course, here at My Cowboys Family. Hop in the Discord, links down below in the description box. So now let's go ahead. We're going to hear straight from Mazi Smith. And like you said, as far as things coming at him, he said, quote, "It wants to be fast and furious, but I don't play that. I be telling folks, slow your roll. I'm going to slow down too. I'm just here to mind my business and get better as a player and be the best nose and defense tackle that the Cowboys can have." Mazi Smith also went on to add, quote, "A lot of people talk about my pass rush in college, but I never had a pass rush plan. So we're going to get a plan and see what I can do. I was a run stopper. If you're going to win the game, I was going to have to stop the run. And that's what I focused on. That's what I'm still focused on. But I'm practiced just to get better. I wanted to win games and win the Big Ten championship. I knew if we were going to do that, we were going to have to stop the run. So, hey, I heard stop the run like 7 times there. That's all I need."
Yeah, Cowboys, we know what we want from him. He knows what we want from him. And obviously the Cowboy coaching staff already told him what his main focus is going to be, either stopping the run or helping stop the run. Everybody else get those stats as long as he gets, does his job and taking on 2 blockers. That's all he needs to do.
So, and then, let me see. I think that was it from Mazi Smith, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, that was everything that Mazi had to say today.
Well, again, I think, we're going to hear a lot of things to say, we got to see it, not just hear it, and I agree. But again, Mazi, I think, has that work ethic and the knowledge of what his role is with the Cowboys. Sharrett Floyd talked about it, our defensive assistant line coach. He talked about what the purpose is going to be pushing. His job is going to be pushing guys backwards into the quarterback, into the running back, and that's going to make everybody else's job easier and better. Linebacker is going to be helped on play action, and the rest of the pass rush is going to be helped when the quarterback or running back are trying to find somewhere to go. Mark Hovsepian, finding which way to go. He's going up, up, up. He's got that 5 on it. And with that $5 holler, he actually jumps into second place by coins over Jason Renfro. What did the man say?
Thank you, Mark. He said, "Our run D will be better. A bit better in the tight end blocking. But with the weak O-line, it won't help much. the running back is good depth, but, he won't be a starter. And then the rest, projects. So, I okay, sorry about that. So, but yeah, thank you, Mark. Real quick. So, again, run defense a million bajillion times better, right? I mean, Mozzie said it. Like, I have one job here. I'm here to do it. And then I'll figure out the rest of the jobs later. We still have to see exactly how we use all of our tight ends. But again, I have to agree that blocking overall will probably be better. But yeah, like I said, it's hard to not keep coming back to that point of, oh man, we did not get any O-line depth, any serious O-line depth.
And really improvement,
so
too.
Hopefully that does not come back to bite us in the ass.
The improvement is the issue there, because we don't know who that left guard is really going to be at this moment. If it's Tyler Smith and Tyler Smith at guard and Tyron Smith at left tackle, and everybody else, and Terrence Steele can play at that right tackle spot, then that's great. But Terrence Steele's not going to be ready to go, so we're going to have Tyron Smith out there, and that's going to be the question. Who's that guard? Get me Dalton Reisner. I know Mark's never talked about Dalton Reisner. I want to know what he thinks. Dalton Reisner. Go and pick him up, former Bronco. We should start a petition to the Cowboy front office to get this guy in here. He's an asshole. He's a glass eater. Good. That's what we need in here. You do that, I think we all can shut up. We can all shut up about bitching about the O-line. I think automatically we are at least better than last year if we do that move. Right now, we're not better than last year, in my opinion. Right now, only better because our guys are getting better, but without Terrence Steele in there, we're not better than last year at that left guard hole, which I'm going to call it that. Now, running back, Mark, as he said, in his comment, I'm not going to worry about the running back. We got a backup for a reason. He is not. He's a situational guy, right? He's a change of pace guy. He's not your starter. We don't need he's not going to block and anything like that. He's not there for that. So that's Ronald Jones or anybody else like Zeke that we might bring back or not. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't know. I'm a Dalton Reisner guy who I'd prefer. I really wish that the Cowboys would go and grab him. That would help our offensive line and kind of stop the worries. And Mark drops another one, baby. Another $5 holler. Keeping not just
thank you, Mark,
his comments going, but also, again, automatically we're pushing the stream back a little bit now because we got some drops and we got to make time for our last words. So, yes, Mark, with another 5 on it, what do you have to say?
He said, I'm not impressed with this draft. I guess they think that all we need is better run defense and then we're complete. So many guys were there that, would have improved us. So basically, again, at that spot where we were going to pick, looking at the other players available, we could have gone with one of those, other guys and had a bigger impact.
Osiris Torrance is the guy that we're going to be watching. That's the name we're going to watch for a while. And until, compared to Luke Schoonmaker, that's going to be the do-or-die pick. We'll have to see what works out. I know that I'm with Mark. I agree that would have been the better move. And I think Mark would have looked at this draft in a much more positive way if that one pick would have been different. But, you can't expect... Mark wanted him to trade him up. And the Cowboys were not interested in Mayer, and they were not interested in trading up. So, those two options were out the window. But in getting Osiris Torrance was right there. Cowboys passed on him, and we'll see if that's a mistake or not. I believe it is, like Mark does. But I also believe Luke Schoonmaker will also give us a lot of positives as well. Yes, blocking tight end, but he's an all-around tight end that can also catch and be a weapon in the passing game. So we'll see. We'll see what the Cowboys plan to do. I don't think it's about Ferguson as much as it is about Hendershot. They don't think Hendershot is a consistent number 2 tight end. So Luke Schoonmaker and Ferguson can be a 1A, 1B tight end duo where they can use a lot of 12 personnel and use them in run and passing situations. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it works or not, right? We'll see, Mark. We know what you think. We know how you feel, and I'm pretty much in agreement on that. 93 points, by the way, for the man, Mark Hovsepian, repping it. Yes, it as in that star all over everything in Hawaii. Appreciate him. So, Mozzie Smith out the way, baby. We got to talk about Junior Fehoko. We stick with the defense here, baby. Because Junior Fehoko, today on Instagram, posted his new locker. Of course, he's number 93, as you see on our thumbnail. He's number 93 for the Dallas Cowboys. Junior Fehoko posted on his Instagram his locker, and then he also spoke interesting stuff, guys, about his eating habits and how he's going to fit with the Cowboys. But again, our 4th round pick, as you can see here, Viliami Fehoko, said he thought he'd be drafted by the Cowboys or the Cincinnati Bengals. Those are the 2 teams that he said showed the most interest. Baby, take it away. What did the man say? What did Fehoko say?
There we go. So you kind of already touched on this a little bit there. But Fehoko said that, he thought that it would end up coming down to either ourselves here, the Cowboys, or the Bengals. Those 2 teams are the ones that seem to show him the most love. And as far as what Dan Quinn plans to do with him, he said, hit the ground running first year. I think I'll be playing probably between the edge and 3 tech. So he also mentioned the fact that, he acknowledges he knows that he has to gain around 5 or 10 pounds, but he also says that it shouldn't be a problem. So right now he's listed as 267. Man, big guy. The more interesting part of that, though, is he was 225 in college, and in 1 year of college, right, in a 6-month timeline in college, right, he went from 225 all the way to 275.
50 pounds. Wow. 50
that's
pounds in
definitely
6 months. What the hell was he eating?
I don't know, the announcer. Let me see here. So actually, he was asked straight up, like, what were you eating? He said Polynesian food. We eat a lot of crazy stuff: pork, beef, tacos.
Damn, yeah, he was chowing down. That's a lot. 50 pounds in 6 months is almost not real. But again, I want to go to his Dan Quinn. We got to shout out Marco Sepien, by the way, baby. He just took over the top spot on the overall board, even with the. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, actually, he's tied in the top spot with Skeptical Fan in first place. So let me fix that with that drop by Marco Sepien. But I wanted just to address one thing that he said, Fehoko, about playing between edge and 3 tech. So you're looking at a 5 tech type guy. You can say that's Carlos Watkins in some ways in Houston in a 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen. It's kind of like the edge, you're the 5 tech. So the thing, though, to me, though, is that right now he'll start off in that area, but he's going to be moving to 3 tech full time into training camp, into the season, in my opinion. So, anyways, sorry, baby. Hit up what Marco Sepien said. Okay. He's dropped that $5 holler, and he's.
So thank you, Mark.
Sorry, I was muted. I was muted the whole time, so no one heard anything I said. I apologize. I was just saying much love to Mark and Skeptical are in a tie for first place, but Skeptical, because he's got the membership gifting lead, is the tiebreaker. It goes to him for now. Of course, we're still here on a Fan Friday. Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry. Now you can continue.
No, it's all good. But yes, thank you, Mark. He said, I can live with the 3rd. But the 4th is another area. The 5th was a joke. The guard and wide receiver were joke picks. I just don't get it. It's a clown show, damn it.
Oh, the clown show, the famed clown show. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to put the clown show up on the screen. And, this might be one of those times, right, Mark? Boom. Listen, even though I understand what the Cowboys are kind of trying to say that they're trying to do, yes, it's a little clown show moves here on some of these picks, but I still am going to reserve the time to see how these guys play in Dan Quinn's defense, and I guess you could say in some of McCarthy's offense. But to me, it's more about the defense. I trust the defensive picks. I trust Will McClay. Mm-hmm. They're not all going to work out. We know this. But if we get 3 or 4 guys that are impact guys, successful draft. If in year 1, I'm saying. Hopefully a couple other guys becoming impactful in year 2, let's say, or 3. But right now we get 4 guys impactful in year 1. That's huge. We had like 5 guys impactful last year. So, let's hope we can hit on some of these. I hear you. Cowboys want to throw the darts, and out of 8 darts, they want to hit 4 of them. Instead of like what I believe is a better way, if you have such good scouting, which we do, throw 5 darts and step a little closer to the bullseye, so you can maybe get better talent with those 5 picks. Anyways, moving on, baby. Moving on. Fehoko spoke about all these things. But let me go back to Marcos. He's got 98 points also. He's almost fully loaded on that Stream Boss and in a tie for first place with Skeptical Fan. So Fehoko, again, you talked about his where he's going to play between 3 and the edge. You could say it's a 5-tech-ish kind of play there, 4-tech, 5-tech. And then he's going to be, he gained a lot of weight, 225, 275 in 6 months. He eats when he needs to eat a lot. Some people are saying, you think he'll be tested for PEDs, baby? I don't know.
Oh. I am unmuted.
Now you are.
I was never muted. Anyway, look, I was the one that made that joke to you behind the scenes. Like just us. I'm like, man, that's an awfully suspicious amount of weight in a short amount of time. Maybe don't brag about that, because yeah, you're definitely gonna have some NFL officials showing up at your door, very quote unquote randomly.
I hear you. I hear that. And again, we'll see. Obviously, we know he's not PEDing here, but we know that, it's kind of funny that he brings that up like that. And, it's almost incredible. We were talking about Micah Parsons bulking up 10 pounds, and he's at 8 pounds bigger than he was last year already. Still as quick and fast. I mean, beating Jamar Chase and Deuce Vaughn in a foot rate, in a agility quickness rate. I mean, it's incredible what Micah is doing. He's the guy that maybe they should test. But I know he's doing it all on the up and up because that man never stops working. And the guy, who's helping them kind of see the way here in some of these little agility, explosive running speed tests is Deuce Vaughn, who's learning from Micah here in some ways as he's training with them. But Micah's 6'3", Deuce is 5'5". He's probably got to get on one knee to talk to him. But Deuce Vaughn, though, no jokes here. You can see there are, 212 pick, 6th rounder, baby. He spoke today as well, and he was talking about, after his dad, Chris Vaughn, right, with the Cowboys scouting department, they drove from Austin, where they live, to the Cowboys' first day of work, you can say, all right, on Thursday, yesterday. They drove out to the Star to get prepared for his first day of work with his dad, basically. And he spoke about that and a lot more. So hit me up maybe on what little man Deuce said. As I put his picture up here, we all know who he's talking about. Because remember, he's still keeping that number 42. As in, what's his name? Darren Sproles, of course, who was number 43. So anyways, continue, baby. I'm sorry. He went to work with his dad.
Like you already touched on, he said, we drove from Austin up here. He dropped me off at the hotel. It was a pretty cool experience. And the he is, of course, his dad, in case you didn't know. He also said that they talked about a lot of different things on their way, up to the Star. As far as being overlooked his entire career, and of course, a big part of that is his size. Deuce Vaughn said this as far as being overlooked. He said, quote, "You get to college and guys kind of question and doubt your abilities because of your size. It just adds to the chip on my shoulder. That's why I'm the hardest working guy that you'll ever meet." Oh,
yeah, no. I was gonna say that.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure if you were.
You see him. He was busting his ass out there, and you see him working on the weights. You see him doing, the dumbbells. He's doing these agility, tests. And again, he's working out with Micah. I just like his hard working ethic, and that's how he got here. That's how he's going to continue to stay where he's at the top, at the elite level here of football players, right? In the NFL, he's got to keep working hard as if it was day one. What else did he say?
So his kind of some of his final comments here. He said, "After my freshman year of college, I had a really good season, and I understood that the way that I prepared and went about my business during the week, that trumped everything." So, which again, makes a lot of sense. He learned how to use his size to his advantage. He went on to keep on saying, "Having the most knowledge, countless hours of film, there's a recipe to success. I feel like over time, I've been able to come into one with my body. understanding how to use my leverage, not only in the open field, but in blocking. Blocking on the rise, being able to hide behind O-linemen, being able to use those guys to my advantage. Being the smallest, it's almost like you're trying to find a small guy in between the trees. I just want to be able to use the O-lineman to my advantage.
I love it. And he's doing what he's going to do, what he did in college. You're going to just be, sneaking around the offensive lineman and slowly going forward, finding that little gap, squirting through it, and then he's got himself 3, 4, 5 yards. And maybe he breaks a big one. That's the way he's going to do the running on the inside of things. And he gets on the outside, catching the pass. One move, they miss him. He's going to get another bunch of yards. So the man ain't going to stop working hard, and he's using his height, or lack of height, to his advantage. And we'll see how that goes in the NFL. I can't wait.
I mean, honestly, I still think it's just really cute that he drove in with his dad.
You said cute.
Sorry, it is cute. But outside of that, honestly, let's be honest. There's no hiding from the fact that he's 5'5". There's no hiding from the fact that, he obviously is going to have a bit more of a struggle when it comes to NFL versus college and stuff like that. But Vaughn does have something very unique and special. And if we use it right, oof, man.
Sky's the limit. Right?
It's exactly. We're going to see a future Pro Bowler here as well in action. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna reel it in because I'm not gonna say that yet. I gotta see that, but if he can do it consistently, he can be a Darren Sproles type of guy, and that's halfway to being a Pro Bowler. So we'll see what happens. But I agree with you. He can definitely listen. There's hype around him. Oh, I think it's overhype. If the Cowboys use him right, the hype will be real. If the Cowboys don't use him, maximize his potential, and he ends up being a Turpin on offense, then everybody will be pissed about it. So I gotta wait to see. I gotta hope McCarthy uses him right in that sense, right? Uses him correctly and means enough and in enough plays per game where he makes a difference. That's what we want to see. So, ending the Deuce Vaughn discussion there as we finish it up, guys. It's an hour, right, baby? I know we're in here for an hour, a little over an hour. I know we got extended because of a couple fantastic drops from Skeptical Fan, Brandon James Shea, Jason Renfro, and Mark Hovsepian. Thank you guys for the love tonight. One last thing I'm going to say, one last guy who spoke on this list, and that's second-round pick tight end Luke Schoonmaker. A quick sentence by him, because he said he's been watching a lot of film of, guess who? Number 82, Jason Witten.
That's a good place to start.
Yeah, he said he wants to meet him here in the near future. He's talked about that. I'm saying that Luke Schoonmaker was talking a lot about Jason Witten and meeting him, watching film of him. He said, quote, as a player, of course, Jason Witten is spectacular. He's a Hall of Famer. But him as a person, as a teammate, he's such a leader. He'd be such a great person to talk to, end quote. So again, Luke Schoonmaker is going to get a little bit of that education of what it means to be a Cowboy and a legend. When it comes to a player like Jason Witten, legendary tight end for the Cowboys, no Super Bowls, unfortunately, but one of the greatest tight ends we've had in our history, and maybe the greatest. And Luke Schoonmaker, hey, he's hoping to be somewhere even near him. So he's going to learn from him a little bit like Micah learns from DeMarcus Ware and many other greats. We hope Luke Schoonmaker goes down that same road with some of our greats and some of the general, like, the Kittles and the Kelsey tight ends out there. Either way, the basic thing, guys, on these 8 guys that I heard today, on all 8 guys, all right, we're done with the stream here, but these 8 guys that you see on the screen, plus the 13 undrafted and a couple of guys that were invites, baby, this is good news, because what I got, the big takeaway from this whole day of first day of rookie minicamp, that these young guys, the rookies, specifically these 8, they understand the challenges ahead. They understand that it's not going to be just you go in there and you're just crowned. You got to go in there and earn the fucking star. And that is the mentality that you're hearing from these rookies. All the rookies. Yeah, they talk a little bit of this and of food eating and the trip with the dad.
In the words of Tony Romo, football is a meritocracy.
Exactly. And so right now, I'm going to say this again because all these guys you heard me talk about, every name you heard me say about the rookies that were drafted, the undrafted rookies, and the 2 invites, all these fucking 23 guys, they all are wearing silver helmets without that star. You got to earn that fucking star. That's the way it's been. That's the way it needs to continue to be. And in my book, that's the way it's going to be. I don't care what the Cowboys do. They don't earn the star until they make the team. Then you earn that star. So, the earning the star mentality is not lost on this group of rookies. That's the good news here, at least on day one. That's what it appears right now. A group that really, truly prides themselves on effort, toughness. That's the things that Cowboys try to change the culture in Dallas with those glass-eating assholes like last year. We got a couple of them this year, and we also added a little more effort and toughness to this crop of rookies. And that's what we're hearing, earning the star mentality. You got to earn your place. Nothing's given to you. I don't care where you were picked. I don't care where you're at. And you got to do it on effort, and you got to do it on toughness. Is that a good way to wrap this up, baby? That's my 2 cents on this rookie class. At least on day one, what they spoke on.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to wrap things up here tonight. So as everyone gives their final likes, as we start to wrap things up here, don't forget, like I just said, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop into the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. But yes, let's go ahead and do some special shout outs here. For our sponsor of the week, Mr. Stewart. Thank you so much, Mr. Stewart. Appreciate you. And not just the sponsor of the week, also the Cash App King.
Boom. You see him right there, Mr. Stewart. Much love to the man. Mr. Stewart, he really blew it out the park last week. And he just dominated it at the buzzer. So first sponsor of the week and first Cash App crown. Much love to Mr. Stewart. The leader, though, is Jason Renfro when it comes to the Cash App side of things. Marco Seppian got 98 points, almost fully loaded on that stream, boss. And if you look above, baby, it's just a weird one this week because we're here with 2 days to go. Really, 1 day. We're going to be live on Sunday night for the finale. We have a dead heat right now. Skeptical Fan, because he has 14 gifted memberships. Scorpio has 1. I'm shouting him out, but I think he has 14, maybe 15 now, right? No, 15 gifted memberships for the Great Skeptical Fan in a tie right now. I think it's a tie with Marco Seppian because it is a tie. Skeptical Fan is the tiebreaker is to the gifted memberships, but we have tonight, I guess the last 5 minutes here, and we have, of course, Sunday night for the finale. Who wins it? We'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody repping that board. And yeah, Skeptical Fan, technically him and Marco Seppian, 1-2 punch, leading the overall board as we speak. That's the shout-outs there. I also wanted to get at least a couple of shout-outs. When you do the shout-outs, baby, and you do the final shout-outs now, make sure you get a couple of the comments real quick. Just a couple of comments, 1 comment per person in the chat. And we are going, this is an hour and a half show, right? We were trying to keep it to an hour, but we did have a lot of love from you guys dropped here, keeping the thing going, the discussion flowing. Marco Seppian with a bunch of drops. Skeptical Fan with a gifted membership and some thanks. Jason Renfro from the Cash, today he was here on the Cash App and the Super Chat. So was Brandon James Shea. Thank you all repping it here with us on My Cowboys Family. So ahead, baby, hit up the shout outs and get a comment, a person over there.
So here, okay, good. Just making sure I'm good here on my audio. But let me see. House Nelson in the house. Much love. Sean Hopkins, hello and hi. Cleveland Brown representing. JT in the place to be. Kelly Presley, have a great night. Choctaw Montana 808, much love. We have, let me see who else is here.
Yeah, Cleveland Brown said, "Watch your language." I know, we know. We're trying. We can say it later in the stream. Is the point? We just can't go crazy with the MF and the S.
Let me see here. Yeah, let me see. Bruce got the toxic juice. Much love. No, I'm just trying to make sure I actually shout out people like Marco Seppian. Much love.
I see Choctaw Montana. So you don't earn the star until you win a Super Bowl. I mean, I guess so, but I mean, some are.
We'd have a very long handful of very naked years these last few years. Then
listen. I understand what Choctaw Montana is saying. I just disagree. You can only do so much, right? It's a team sport. So individually, they earn the star. You're a Cowboy, but you're not a legend. That's my issue. That's my only thing. But the way I said Jason Witten's a legend, I guess he's a legend. in the NFL, but he didn't win that Super Bowl. So, there's a little bit missing on that legend name because you're a legend when you win a Super Bowl in my mind. So, yeah, you're a legend when you win a Super Bowl, but you can earn the star every year. And that's what I think that's what these rookies need to do. And some of these fucking veterans need to kind of earn that star again, in my opinion.
Let me see here. Kelly Presley, have a great night. See, of course, Mark Hovsepian, mahalo to you.
Yeah, him and Skeptical Fan and Jason Renfro in the house.
Yeah, Frank Moyer, take it easy. But yeah, actually, that's as far back as I can go as far as
I see
people in the chat.
Cue ball.
Cue ball. Take it easy. Have a great night. Go Cowboys. But yeah, baby, that's everybody I have over here.
That's a wrap here in My Cowboys Family. One night to go. We're going to take tomorrow. We got some stuff going on, guys. Probably not going live tomorrow, but definitely going live on Sunday night to finish off the week and finish off whatever news, info, and updates trickle down here. The rookie mini camp, you might see some videos posted tomorrow. We'll keep an eye out for that here. Of course, that's why I always say, hit the like for the stream. You got to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell when our videos drop. You see them right away. You can go check them out and comment if you want as well. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that tomorrow. Sunday, we'll wrap up the whole rookie mini camp weekend and, give you the ins and outs on everything we know here on the news, info, and updates on our Dallas Cowboys. And of course, it'll be the last day of the week for the battle of the top spot up there, whether it's the Cash App, whether it's the overall board, whether it's the membership gifting, whatever it is, guys, you guys running the show. Same thing with the stream boss there, Mark Hovsepian, everybody in the house. Can't do this without you, Goal. So again, thank you for your comments, your knowledge in the chat, your drops of love from above, your support in every single way. And baby, remind them why we do this here on MCF. This, again, an hour show, pushed to about an hour and 40 minutes. You guys made it happen. That's the way we're going to do this from now on. It's just, we got to keep it a little more in the, right? A little more controlled, right? So on that note, baby, why do we do this on the nightly here in My Cowboys Family?
It's that navy blue, that silver too. We do it for that star over everything.
Everything, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly here on this channel, no matter what happens. And trust me, we want to win. But no matter what happens, we're repping that star over everything, guys. Here, almost 6 years. We're about a month and a half away from 6 years and beyond. Y'all want 6 and beyond. Here on My Cowboys Family, here on YouTube. Never forget, here on My Cowboys Family, the number one thing here, now and forever. As always, say it with us, say it loud, say it proud. Go Cowboys! Don't know if you got that too, but it was good. If you did,
I wasn't even gonna try it on that.
I like when you try. I like when you try. Hey, listen. Either way, guys.
Yeah, last time we came in on like 3 separate planets, so
that's why I like trying because it's funny, but it still represents that Go Cowboys. Either way,
sorry, but yeah, Go Cowboys! Woo.
Hell yeah, guys! Thank you for dropping your knowledge and your insight in the chat. That's the back and forth we need here to continue the conversations of our Cowboys. And, of course, appreciate the love from our family members here on MCF for the drops of love from above, donations, super chats, cash apps, memberships, whatever. Thank you humbly from the family here on this side of the microphone, baby. Time to clock out and drop out of here officially. Before we can do that, though, and relock and reload for the Sunday finale show here for another Cowboys chat on My Cowboys Family. Probably live on camera, by the way, so you want to be here for that. You're not going to get our little emojis on here. Baby, before we drop out for the night, what do we got to do?
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. Beat's been dropped, guys. It's a wrap right here on My Cowboys Family. But thank you once again for participating in this fun little experiment we do on the nightly. For all that news, the info, and those updates. You know where we're at. You know where we discuss this thing. And you know we do it on the nightly, almost 6 years. Almost on the nightly, I guess, in recent days. But nonetheless, thank you all for rocking with us. Appreciate you all. We'll see you on Sunday night. And of course, remember everything we spoke about right here on MCF with the both of us tonight in this Cowboys chat here. Yes, we touched on the schedule, predictions from the wife. That was kind of an added bonus there. But of course, Micah's hunger. Again, he was talking to Andrew Whitworth yesterday. We talked about that. This man is ready to dominate. And, of course, that offensive line is as bad as it really is, as we said about the pass. No, but they're also not top 10. Let's be real. Not right now. Not in pass protection, for sure. Got to get better there. And the rookie crop, they spoke. These 4 guys, we heard from them today. They have the stars on the helmet, but I like the feel that they're giving me. They got to earn that goddamn star, no matter what. Nothing's given to these guys. So let's see them earn it. Right here on MCF, after talking about our Cowboys on the nightly for an hour and 45 minutes. Woo! Much love to all guys. Appreciate everyone's love and support, guys. And again, remember why we do this. Never forget the number one thing here, my Cowboys family. Right here in MCF, never forget the number one thing. Everyone stay safe. Much love. Have a good rest of your weekend. We'll catch you on Sunday night for some more. Peace out. Take care. And oh yeah, never ever forget, go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.